G'day, Andy here from Kalka. Today we're looking at the next part of the build process, which is roof install and pre-plaster roughings. We have now received the Form 16 from the building certifier, which allows us to proceed past the frame stage, which we will start by fitting a roof onto the structure. This part of the process is a couple of steps which happen over approximately 1 week, depending on the size and complexity of the roof. The roof elements are made up of 4 major components, which are the fascia, gutter, roof battens, and the roofing iron. The fascia is attached to the tails of the trusses using a bracket to ensure that the metal fascia board is kept straight and level. The gutter is then attached to the fascia board also with brackets, but it is installed with gradual fall towards the downpipes, so the water cord on the roof will be directed to these areas as quickly and proficiently as possible. Once the fascias and gutters have been completed, the installation of the main roof can begin. We do this by installing metal battens onto the top chord of the trusses, which the sheet metal roof will be fixed to. The sheets can then be lifted up from the ground and moved into position on top of the metal roof battens ready to be screwed into position. Each roof sheet is overlapped into the guttering and also over the sheet that was previously installed, so the water cannot get under the roof. The roof is screwed into position with galvanised screws through the roof sheets into the metal battens below. This method is repeated until the roof is completely covered, then the roof flashings will be installed to conceal any gaps where the roof sheet may not have been suitable. It is at this point that the plumber and electrician will come to site to complete any on-roof works while the safety scaffolding is in place. The roof penetrations for plumbing stacks and the TV antenna will be installed and sealed so that the scaffolding can be removed. Your supervisor will check these installations prior to the scaffolding coming down. In the instance when we have upper and lower roofs, we will complete the upper roof first, then once the safety scaffolding is removed, we can repeat the same process and complete the lower roof soon after. This signifies that the roofs are now completed. The first part of the pre-plaster rough-in is the frame straighten and the windows install. The carpenters will return to site and remove all of the temporary bracing timbers and move all of the windows into place ready for installation. They will systematically move from each room to install each of the windows and/or cavity slider pockets as they go. The windows will be packed and levelled so that they are installed to the same height and the jambs are kept straight and plumb. They are fixed into position with the use of finishing nails and screws if needed. The internal wall frames are independent of the roof trusses, which allows for any slight movement of the timber frame, not to damage the plasterworks once completed. We also install any bulkheads at this visit and ensure that all the timber trimmers are in place for the plasterboard installation. Any special requests for wall-mounted TVs will need to be discussed prior to this day, and the carpenters also install all of the noggins required for towel rails and toilet roll holders at this appointment. The carpenters are now completed and the other pre-plaster rough-ins can now take place. This is in most cases the electrician, plumber, gas fitter, air conditioning installer, and data and communications. The electrician will pull all of his cables through the frame and set out where light switches and GPOs will be located based on the electrical plans. The downlight locations will be marked on the floors so that the cables can be easily located once the plaster ceilings have been completed. Nailing plates will be fixed onto the frame for light switches to screw into in order to ensure they are held tight once the plasterboard has been installed. The light switches themselves will be installed later in the build process once other works have been finalised. When the plumber is on site, he will install all of the water supply pipes and sewer points in the home. This includes connecting to the vent pipes that were recently completed on the roof in the earlier process. All of the under slab pipe work have been completed previously before the slab was poured, so in this visit, the plumber will continue with ensuring the remaining pipes are installed to the upper level. The plumber will install the shower and bath mixers, then all of the water pipes are tested so that no leaks are present after the plaster works have been completed. To ensure the installation is sufficient, an inspector from the local council authority will review the works and confirm that all is compliant with the local legislation and code requirements. If gas is present in your home, the gas fitter will normally attend the site the same day as the plumber in order to run his lines for the applicable appliances. These appliances are more often than not a cooktop in the kitchen, barbecue points for outside entertainment, and the hot water system. If you do not have these products in your home, this step is simply skipped. This pipe is also pressure tested to ensure safe operation of the appliances once the plaster work has been completed. The air conditioning ducting and fan coil unit is now installed. The fan coil unit is located in the roof space of the upper floor and the outside unit will be installed later in the build process. All of the ducting is run from the fan coil unit around the home by specially located ducts and cutouts in the floor system. This layout is already predetermined in the design phase so that floor joists and structural beams are taken into consideration. If you have selected any other services for your home, like ducted vacuum systems or security and media systems, they will also be installed at this time. It is important that you meet with your supervisor at this stage. It will start to give you a feel for how your home will flow and will also give you the opportunity to make any changes you may like to introduce as a result. The cost implications for making changes after plasterwork has been installed can be quite hefty, as rework of multiple trades can get costly. Speak with your supervisor and organise any variations you may like to get through the Client Services Coordinator, who will generate variations if required. The house is now ready for the plasterboard to be installed, but before this can happen, we must enclose the home.